Would you like to know how to best keep things moving along in May? I'm your host, Kylie Savage Psychic. Welcome to my channel, and this is a little bit of a news update for May and also looking ahead into June, so a bit of an oracle cast for June. And I will also be giving you a message from the Enchanted Oracle map, and because it's eclipse season and we're in Mercury retrograde, I thought I would pull a Moonology manifestation card. Moving along in May, I really have felt the momentum of the recent energy, so much so I was like, I need to do Oracle cast again. I really need to remember that adage, rest, don't quit. Because earlier in this year, I was actually feeling quite depressed, quite run down, burnt out, all the rest of it, as I'm sure you can relate to, or you know someone who is going through something similar. And yes, I totally blame the pandemic and everything else going along with that. We've all experienced it differently. And that transition out of the pandemic, the lag, the catch up, all of those energies, which I'm very susceptible to feeling all of the energies. If you're empathic, intuitive, I'm sure you can understand what I'm talking about. I feel like we have felt all of this stuff for 2 years for everybody. So yeah, lots of boundary work and psychic hygiene needed, of course. I know that. I'm teaching what I need to learn. Anyway, so yeah, that coming through that lag period, I just fell into a deep depression and didn't have the energy and momentum, and I kind of just wanted to almost quit everything and walk away. And then I was like, just starting to understand. I went and got some help and used all of my spiritual tools, all the resources that I have to like work my way through it, to feel what I was feeling, to really accept that and acknowledge that and honor it, and also to keep my eye on the horizon and know that this too shall pass. I was going to move through it. It was pretty normal. It was natural. I had been there before. I just hadn't been quite as depressed as I was feeling for a very long time. If you've been watching the channel for a while, I have a diagnosis of generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD. Such a great name. Who thinks these things up? I want a nice, sexy acronym for my mental illness. Come on, do better, in the DSM. Anyway, so I just hadn't been. I usually feel more anxious than depressed, but anxiety and depression are two sides of the same coin, and I just flipped into that deep funk. Which, thank you. I really feel like I'm moving through it. And everything that you feel gives you an awareness of what it means to be human and have human experiences and human emotions. And we are human feelings and human beings, not human doings. So, I just find that the best way is to just go with it. Just experience and feel your way through these challenges. And it's resistance that creates suffering. What we resist persists. I really love that. Keep forgetting what it's called. It's a martial art. Maybe you can put it in the comments and remind me. I think it starts with A. I always forget what it's called, but it's about like if your opponent comes towards you, you take their energy and their momentum and you use it for your own advantage and benefit. You don't fight anything that comes. You draw it closer into you, but then you transform it so that it doesn't end up hurting you. And the person attacking you doesn't end up so much hurt either. You just transform them, pass it on. And that's, I feel like such a good philosophy for life. To be aware of, accept, understand the challenge, the waves, the things that are happening, to process the energy, because as intuitives, that's what we do. And then we process and translate it like I will do for you, through our spiritual tools, like our oracle cards or our psychic readings or our mediumship, whatever. Process, integrate, learn the lesson, have the experience, and then, let all this stuff flow through and flow on. Some things I really want to tell you about I'll dive into that right now. But first of all, let me know. I'd love to hear. Let me know in the comments. How are you going? It's been, it's May, so we've had 2 years of pandemic. It got declared, I think, not a pandemic earlier this year. How are you processing it with everything? I'm really thinking about the Victorians in Australia. I think they really voted with their feelings in this election, because Victorians just were slammed with lockdown after lockdown, restriction after restriction. And I think out of all the Australians, I think they really were impacted the most through all the measures that the government used to try and keep people safe. And I think Victorians were so passed over it. So yeah, let me know how you're going at this time in May. Because the thing is, with eclipses and that portal and Mercury retrograde, and it was retrograding in Gemini and then Taurus and going back to Gemini. We're now in Gemini season. It's all about communication, but with the retrograde, we might want to process the things that we want to get off our chest first with ourselves, our journals, a trusted friend, before we go and tell people or express and communicate our thoughts and feelings to others. So don't be surprised, even if you are already a big feeler, that you're having some even bigger feelings coming up around now. But yeah, let me know how you're feeling with all these things, what your thoughts are, if any new projects have come up. Mercury retrograde too, depending where it is in your chart, great time for ideas, for reflection, for review. Great time to pause. So you might get lots of good ideas. And what I've done is I've taken some action on those ideas, but I haven't launched them. I haven't shared them with other people yet. So I've started them. They're in the pipeline, but I'm not actually launching them till after Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde in and of itself is not really anything to be afraid of. I had a really bumpy day at the start of it, and now I'm starting to feel a lot better. Kind of get in the swing of the energies, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I can handle this. This is all right. And then you start to you work with those energies, for your fate. Start to work with those energies so they are more in your favor. Maybe it's not such a good idea filming at this time. I don't know. I'm going with it. This is the time that I have that's been slotted in and scheduled that I can do this. So I'm really grateful to be here and to be talking with you now. Okay, let's get to the news. Believe it or not, I always think 10 minutes, Kylie. Like, we could do this for 10 minutes. Let's get it out fast. All right. Did you catch the most recent Conversations with Kylie? If you didn't, you can hit pause on this, go along to my playlist, and it has Conversations with Kylie, and click on the conversation with Pamela Muller. Now, Pam is a dream expert and a spiritual director, and we had a fantastic chat all about your weird dreams, the intersection of dreams, spirituality, and consciousness. We talked about so much. I was so thrilled and honored to have Pam on the show. She is the most amazing lady, so please go and check her out, Sweet Georgia Pam. Pop that in your Google search and her website will come up. She's got a fantastic website, and she has a dream and soul retreat coming up in Arizona. Oh, I would love that. You'll be getting up with the sunrise, going to bed at sunset, doing quieter things at sunset, unpacking your dreams together, and looking at how your nighttime, dreaming self can really assist and support your waking self to make your waking dreams come true. Sounds amazing. Go and check it out. Thank you for liking, sharing these videos with your friends. And remember to subscribe and hit those bells to get notified if you want to know when the next videos are coming out. And there will be more. I'm sure I will catch up with you in June as well. Maybe just a tweak this oracle cast and give you a bit more information about the energies we'll be working with in June. Okay, so that's it. Conversation with Kylie. The next conversation with Kylie, I need your assistance and support with. Are there questions you are just burning to ask a psychic? I'm also a medium. I've worked as an energy worker, healer, I've been in this industry for almost 20 years. I've had my own business for 11. So if you have spiritual business questions, that would be great. But I work with angels, guides. I teach psychic development. I teach you how to read oracle cards. So please email me, so it's nice and private if you want, or send me a message. Or if you don't, if you know you're okay with it, pop your questions in the comments below. What questions would you like me to answer on the next Conversations with Kylie? I'll be filming that in June. It will be a conversation with me answering your questions. So I love viewer questions, you know, when people have viewer questions on their TV shows or podcasts or whatever. I listen to Alison Dubois' The Dead Life, and I really love the Q&A shows with her and Joe. And Joe reads out the questions from the viewers and the listeners, and Alison answers them on the show. And I was like, I couldn't see a guest for June. So I was like, no, that's what it is. It's about me sitting down with the camera and you and answering your questions. So please get those questions to me as soon as you can. Don't worry if you can't perfectly word them. I will get the gist and I will be able to respond to it. Let me know too if you're happy for me to mention your name in the video. If not, we'll just keep it anonymous. It'll be a Dear Kylie. Okay, so that's that. Ooh, something super exciting to tell you all about. I just need a sip of my drink and I have to show you. This is my latest cup. It's from Sabrane. She is the most amazing spray paint artist and she has this fantastic gallery. She's in Broome, I think. And I have been wanting a Sabrane for myself forever. And she has cups and pillows and prints and postcards and cards and all sorts of things and great big artworks and art sales. So go and check her out, Sabrane. I will put her link in the comments. Right, coffee and cards. I've been wanting to do a coffee and cards catch up for ages. So you jump onto Zoom with me and a bunch of other like-minded people, and for about an hour and a bit, we care and share, we meditate, we do a practical exercise, so a card reading exercise. We come back, we share what we've got. If we have time, we have Q&A, so you can ask me questions about your readings. I can give you tips and things like that. We do it all in a beautiful container of a ritual. So you have the added energy of the group and with me facilitating it. So you're learning and your connection to spirit is like highly super supported because myself and my team in spirit, we facilitate that. Just give you an extra boost for your practice. So it makes it easier to connect with spirit and get messages and helps your rings to make more sense. So yeah, bring along your oracle cards, meet us on Zoom. The next one is the 1st of June. That's Wednesday evening, 1st of June, 6:30 p.m. AEST, Sydney, Australia time. If you want in, good news is your first visit is free. So come along and play with us. And you need to register by emailing me info@kyliesavage.com. I will put that link in the show notes below this video as well. Okay, there you go. Already talked for more than 10 minutes. Rolling right on. So I was so excited about coffee and cards. We've already done our first intro free session. That was great. I'm so excited to be teaching again. But most of all is the group, you know, you don't have to sign up forever. You can just drop in when you want to. Going on your second visit, it's 22 Australian dollars each visit. And you know, I'm looking forward to it being dynamic and interactive and changing according to the needs of each group that comes. Super fun. It is fun to play with your friends, your oracle card loving friends. It is so much fun. And you know, you get that support of the community. Okay, I'm putting together a brand new group. Like I said, things are in the pipeline. They won't be launched till after Mercury retrograde, which is the 2nd of June, I think, around the 1st or 2nd of June, depending where you live. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be running a 7 days more psychic free challenge. Now, if I've just completed Dougal phrases Aura Archetypes challenge. I've just watched Denise Lin's, you know, Oracle Guide, Soul, whatever. I've just watched her videos. We know that that's a marketing technique to do challenges and then, hopefully shift people, sell them your course and shift them into, get them to become the audience for your course. With the 7 Days More Psychic Challenge, of course I'm going to promote my packages. Of course I am. And my services. Yet, this 7-day More Psychic Challenge will be value packed. So you're going to get a lot out of it. Like when I watched Denise Lin's 3 days videos, I wish they had put them up for longer. She had these fantastic meditations in it. One of them's not anywhere that I can find it. And it was about who you were as an oracle in a past life. So I love that. But, Denise went through like 15 different ways of clearing and cleansing your oracle card decks. That's value right there. So, and I love Denise Lin. I love her oracle card decks, and I have followed that lady for nearly 20 years, and she is a true legend. She's legit. So I don't mind. I know it's a marketing thing. What I'm giving away is my email address. I just unsubscribe at the end of the challenge. And you know what? It was a good value course. But I'm not buying any more courses for a very long time till I finish all the courses I have. So yeah, summits, challenges, things like that. We know we're awake and aware to the fact that these are marketing techniques, and yet that doesn't mean they don't hold some value. And these people are in business. They might be in spiritual business, but at the end of the day, we're in business. This is how we earn a living. So cut us some slack and come along and do my 7 Days More Psychic Challenge. I won't be, some people do these challenges, marketing spiel the whole lot and no value. They promise you a lot, they don't deliver. So you've got to be, savvy about what you sign up for and what you don't. And some people, they take your email address and think they can keep it, and that's not cool. That unsubscribe button's got to work. So yeah, be wise about what you do sign up for and what you don't. Okay, one last thing I have to tell you about, and then I'm going to dive into a card reading for us. Okay, so I retired as a one-to-one card reader for, for the public, for individual people, and for groups. I retired from that. I've been doing readings for almost 20 years. It's time to move on. I was like, that was one of the things I saw through the pandemic, is the way that my business needed to change. It wasn't going to survive, and I didn't feel connected to it, and I didn't have a lot of energy or fire for it in the current form that it was taking. And you know what? I think I was just tired. I was just tired generally, so that showed up everywhere else where I was tired. And the way that I had been doing my business and everything, I was just I've been doing it for too long. Sometimes we do go past the point of where we need to let something go. So my business in the form that was in is it's changed. It's changed from that, and I was like, I had a lot of grief around that. I have very high expectations, and sometimes when things don't pan out and you realize it's time to let them go, you go, oh wow, that is what it is what it is, and it was what it was, and it's never going to be what I thought it was going to be, and that's okay. Getting to that point of acceptance. Things don't always turn out the way you want them to, and sometimes that's for the best, and sometimes it's painful and it hurts and we have to grieve. Anyway, so no more rings for the public. And then after having a very quiet time in business and very little chatter, requests for readings, suddenly there was this burst of requests for readings. And I'm like, hang on, Spirit, I retired. And I thought it's new level, new devil kind of thing. You make a decision, then life pushes back and goes, are you sure about that? Is that really what you want to do? We'll just test you on that a bit. And so I was like, no, no, no. And then I kept getting requests, and I was like, well, maybe I need to be more flexible. So I've opened up a window for readings, for one-to-one readings. Very, very tiny window. But what it is, it's until the 30th of June, but you can book your reading in that time. You don't have to have your reading at that time, but you need to have your reading before the end of this year, preferably a lot before the end of this year, as you see, because I've retired, technically retired. No more readings for the bubbly. which, I'm excited to do Oracle Cast because that still keeps my hand in readings. I love doing readings. Anyway, so there's psychic one-to-one readings for 111 Australian dollars. We jump together on Zoom. We jump on Zoom together for about 30 or 40 minutes, and you ask me one super good question. If you're not sure about your question, don't worry, I help you craft it. So remember, if you ask the very best questions, Spirit can give you the very best responses. I'm very big on having the good questions. And that's it. So, yeah, if you're interested, you can go over to my website, and what you do is you book, go to the services page, scroll right down to the bottom, and it will say single sessions. Book a single session with me, and that's how you get your psychic reading. Once you've booked, I email you, we have a chit chat, and if the time and date's not right, we can figure it out, we can change it. So, yeah. Isn't that great? Only until the 30th of June. Then that's it. Who knows? You can never say never, can you? All right. So the question I'm asking for now, for you ready? I'm not doing pick a card or anything. I'm just going to pull 2 cards for us. And I'm asking, what do we need to know to keep moving along in May with what's most important to us right now? So just take a moment, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears, and just have a think about what it is that's most important to you right now and how you can build some momentum on that. That's what we're asking Spirit for. I just love alliteration. Moving along in May. Let me know in the comments, what do you feel like you are getting some momentum with? What do you feel like is moving along for you in May, and where do you see that headed, or where would you like it to go? And I always respond to your comments. Okay, these cards are not super shuffled, and my dogs, I can hear them barking. I don't know if you can hear them too, because they're saying it's dinner time. If your dogs in winter want to be fed earlier, they already know the change of season. They already know I feed them about an hour earlier, and they're like, hey, come on. Okay, I'm going to go with that middle card. And did I say I'm reading from Colette Baron Reid's The Enchanted Map Oracle? This is the 2nd edition, the new edition. It's really lovely. I really like the colours. Now, these cards reverse, and I reckon this card's going to come out reversed. And I like decks that don't reverse. Is it upside down? No, it's not. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, Spirit's been listening to us, because this is card number 34, and it's Spark. See if I can get the light off it. Is that better? Can you see it? Oh, I love it. So it's a lady, a violinist, and she's playing a violin, and we've got a sort of a, no, that's a moth. We have her playing her violin there. Oops, get the light off. Get off. There you go. She's matching it with my background now. So she's playing her violin, and there are sparks coming out of her violin. And I love this. You know what? Because we were talking about moving along in May, and we're talking about momentum. Now, Spirit is saying, if you have an idea, like I was saying before, get fired up about it. This is excellent. There's a lot being ignited right now, yet the other pieces that we need to add to it, and the culmination and the launch of these ideas, the timing, you might be benefited by holding off on that for a while. Just wait till Mercury retrograde ends, okay? It's safer, trust me, because Mercury retrograde is drawing our energies back to pause and reflect. So maybe if you do have a great idea at the moment, see if you can link it back to, did you have this idea 2 or 3 years ago? The Psychic 7-Day Challenge, I had that idea ages ago. I was nearly going to run with it, and then something else happened. I went and got interested in something else. So I didn't run with it, but the idea never went away. I have a business book, and I write down all the ideas. And look, don't be stingy with your ideas. Spirit give everyone ideas. That's inspiration. The Spirit is in you, and Spirit wants to move through you. And if you don't run with their idea, they'll just go on to the next person, the next open channel, and they'll give them the idea and the support for it. Because Spirit don't see ideas as being owned by people. That's us. The human ego takes possession of things and then it gets jealous about it. And then it gets into, its poverty discourses and mindsets and saying, this is mine. We become selfish and greedy and all the rest of it. Spirit's not like that. Thank goodness. Spirit is generous. Spirit sees us as all one. So if you don't run with the idea, someone else will, and bless them. And don't ever feel like you've lost an idea because, maybe you did lose it in that particular incarnation, the idea, but if it's meant for you, it's going to come back around. Maybe in a different form, maybe with different people, in a different way, and it may be even better. So get fired up in May. Get fired up in these portal energies and these eclipses. Let the shedding happen. Let the transformation happen. Let all the old crap be burned away. Do lots and lots of forgiveness lists. Write your inventory. I've been watching Brené Brown's Atlas of the Heart. It's on binge here. And she said something that was so profound. She was like, resentment is actually linked to jealousy. I was like, whoa. I always thought resentment came from anger. That's what I've been taught about. So then it's linked to fear. But jealousy, it's like jealousy and envy. I resent you because you have something or you did something, that I wanted for myself. So spark is let the ideas be pure. Let them come up. Write them out, but understand that ideas come from spirit. Okay, they may filter through you and then they'll be changed and they will be unique to you, yet they come from a greater source of wisdom and creativity, the ultimate source of creativity. So let the ideas flow in May, but know that you don't need to figure out the how. You never need to figure that out. You don't need to figure out all the other moving pieces. Just be free and open and let the ideas come, because ideas and desires and intentions and all those things, they all go into a beautiful recipe, which when you match it with commitment and the law of action, when you take action towards things and then you build really strong, good, healthy habits, that's how change happens. And change happens so incrementally. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm super impatient. I'm an Aries sun. If you know what we're like, say no more. But, I've had to learn to cultivate that slow burn and understand that, my desires might be really strong, but desire is never enough to bring about change, real and lasting change. Desire is the spark. That's the starting point. There's all the other things we need in the middle and along the end to sustain, like build and sustain true change. And it takes time and it takes patience and all of these things. Okay, so I would love to hear if you're feeling that, if you're feeling like you're in the flow of inspiration and ideas, because Spirit is saying they're really matching you, they're really supporting your energy for that. And for new things, just hold off on launching until after Mercury retrograde. That's a suggestion. I mean, it's totally up to you. Sometimes you don't have, much of a choice. It's like the other resources show up and you might feel the pressure. But just know if it doesn't feel right in your body, in your spirit, the timing, if it doesn't feel right, trust yourself. Let everything, else go on around you and just stay true to yourself with that. Okay, so what is it that we all need to know about this Mercury retrograde and eclipse season? What is it that Spirit especially wants us to know about that? Okay, I'm going to go with pile number 1. And these cards are really sticky, so yeah, I thought I picked up 2. Oh, did I pick up? No, I didn't pick up more. Oh, last quarter moon in Aries. Hope that you can see that there. Okay, it says, work through your feelings. So we were talking about all the big feelings and maybe even more feelings at the moment. Great time for journaling. And this just said, like, sometimes, like, I know this is true for me, but I want, I have all these thoughts and feelings and things happening, and I want to share them with somebody, and I want to share them with somebody who understands it, who gets it. But the thing is, that's not always necessary, and very often it's not. Grab your journal, take yourself for a walk. I do voice memos. When I'm really in something, I will do a voice memo. Say you've had a conflict with somebody or something, because, yeah, I'm a fiery Aries. I do get myself into a pickle with people, quite a few times. So I'll use the voice memo because I can't hold, and because of complex trauma and everything, I really, really struggle with holding a conflict inside myself. I need to move it through, and I need to move it through as quickly as possible because I'm always coming back to this state of inner calm. I need to be able to rest, to sleep, to function, all the rest of it. So when I have really big feelings and things I need to move through, I need to find ways to express it which are healthy. And I'm super conflict phobic, and we all are. That Brené Brown special is brilliant, really, at explaining our emotions to us, which is something, we're not fluent in emotional intelligence. It's just not something that we're very often taught. So work through your feelings. I think if we keep working through our feelings that are coming up through eclipse season and through this Mercury retrograde, we're going to be in a much better position, in June to get those ideas happening, to launch our businesses or launch our projects or get that new job or start that relationship or, go on that holiday or whatever it is. If there's something that you've been holding back on, and you feel impatient, it's time to get it. Like, just look at this time. You can nurture the seed for a little bit longer and then launch that baby come June, come next month. But I'm going to check in on you. So I trust that message resonates. I'm going to check in on you in June. And so please, I'd love to hear about in the comments, as you said, what's been happening for you, what your ideas are, if that message resonates with you, and how I can support you better in June. I'm Kylie Savage Psychic. This has been a May update, kind of May Oracle cast. And please, if you found this of benefit as well, I'd love for you to like and share it. If you're interested in working with me or finding out more about me, head over to my website, www.kyliesavage.com. Just about everything is under my name or Kylie Savage Psychic. You can find me on Facebook there, and I'm back on Instagram as well. May your May be absolutely fantastic for the rest of us. And I'm really excited for you to nurture, be full of these ideas, nurture them, and then see you launch them in June with great success. And if I can be of any assistance to you with any of that, you just get in touch and let me know. See ya.